Why is Magna Carta, a document created 800 years ago, still seen as so important? What does it say? Was it really a statement of human rights? Hello, this is Simon Jackson from learnloads.com. Magna Carta means the Great Charter. Written in 1215, the ideas it contained have influenced many great thinkers and leaders around the world, from Jefferson to Gandhi. It's echoed in the United States Declaration of Independence and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. To begin with, let's look at the story behind Magna Carta. In the early 13th century, King John's bad behaviour included imprisoning his former wife and doing very unpleasant things to various friends and family. He also imposed cripplingly heavy taxes on his barons to fund foreign wars. If the barons refused to pay, their property was seized anyway. It seems the barons, though probably used to this kind of thing from medieval kings, felt that King John really was going too far by disregarding laws and customs. As far back as 1100, Henry I had issued a written charter promising to avoid excessive taxation and not to imprison people without proper cause. So, the barons ended up in an armed struggle with John, in which he came off worse. London was captured by the barons, and John was forced to negotiate. The two sides met for talks at a place called Runnymede. The outcome of these talks was a charter written in Latin that we now call Magna Carta. You can see surviving originals in London's British Library or the ancient English cities of Salisbury and Lincoln. In fact, much of the document deals with now obsolete medieval rights and customs, but the most famous parts still have the power to stir the blood as a statement of civil liberties. It says no free man should be seized or imprisoned, or stripped of his rights or possessions, or outlawed or exiled, nor will we proceed with force against him, or send others to do so, except by the lawful judgment of his equals, or by the law of the land. So, Magna Carta represented a promise that the king would not seize property, imprison, or otherwise mistreat free men without lawful cause. On the one hand, this part of Magna Carta did absolutely nothing for the overwhelming majority of England's population. They were not free men, but unfree peasants who were legally owned by the elite group on whose land they lived. In addition, the Charter was in fact immediately ruled as invalid by the Pope, and England entered a period of civil war. However, Magna Carta was reissued several times during the 13th century, and eventually became a recognised part of English law. Tom Bingham, the former law lord, has written in his excellent book The Rule of Law that there are a number of reasons why Magna Carta is seen as important. To begin with, it marks the early beginnings of the idea that the citizens of a state are entitled to be governed according to the law rather than purely in the interests of their monarch. In fact, this agreement between the barons and King John expressed a general feeling among English subjects that had been growing some while before 1215. Magna Carta represents a rejection of the idea that the king can act as he wishes and is not accountable to anyone. Nobody was yet challenging the idea that the monarch ruled by virtue of divine right, meaning his power stemmed directly from God, but Magna Carta is saying that even the king, the supreme power in the state, must act within the law. In the 13th century, this was a really big step. It can be seen as the beginning of an idea that today we call the rule of law. Perhaps the biggest factor is the almost mythical status Magna Carta has been given ever since. There was definitely nothing that we would recognise as a jury trial in 1215, but whenever a British government today proposes to limit the role of juries, critics have been quick to point out this is directly contrary to Magna Carta with its reference to the need for judgment of his equals. In America, David Stiverson calculated in 1991 that more than 900 judges in US courts had referred to the Magna Carta in their judgments. As I said earlier, you can link the Magna Carta to the constitutional principle of the rule of law. To find out more about the rule of law and other constitutional principles, watch the Learn Loads video, UK Constitution Part 2. And available on a digital device near you, A Brief History of Human Rights, Episode 2, Torture, Prison and Habeas Corpus. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, click the little thumbs up below to show you liked it, or look for more videos and other free resources at learnloads.com. Bye.